this video, you and I will be breaking down something called frame control. It's a powerful way to create influence and charisma in communication. And one of the best to do this, in my opinion, is Coach Prime. So what you and I will be doing in this video is watching some recent clips from an interview with Coach Prime, where I noticed him controlling the frame, speaking with influence, and of course, being charismatic. You and I will watch these clips together, and then I'll stop the clip. I'll break down some of these insights for you so that you can learn these skill sets as well, because these are things that you can absolutely learn and understand over time. So without further ado, let's jump into the video.
Let's go.
Coach, I know that you're aware kind of what people nationally are saying about your team. Is it
Not really. I'm aware of a couple of y'all in here, what you're saying about our team.
It feels like the conversation has kind of turned from earlier in the season. It was, Shedeur and Travis. Now people are starting to take note. Hey, they're playing well at the line of scrimmage. They've got these other receivers. The secondary's playing really well. Right. Is that refreshing for you to kind of see?
No.
There's the first example of controlling the frame. The frame comes down to who has a stronger sense of reality. So essentially in that moment, you see Coach Prime fact check the guy who's asking the question. In that moment, if Coach Prime just follows the narrative that is given to him, who's controlling the frame? Who has the stronger sense of reality? So Coach Prime in that moment checks the frame. He goes, no, actually, I don't know that. He doesn't take the narrative, the bait that is given to him. And so to do that in communication, one is obviously you have to have a strong sense of reality. You understand who you are, what you stand for. Also, you must learn to be present in the moment. You actually have to hear what someone is saying, because in communication, people will give you the bait, right? They'll try to run with a narrative that isn't always your reality. And so when you control the frame, you're fact checking the reality. And then when you do that, the other person reacts to you because you control the tempo and therefore the frame of communication.
If we believe you now, we would have believed you then. So which one of you do we believe? So why would we listen? We don't have time for that, honestly, because we know who we are, what we are, how we are, where we're going, and we know how to get there. So we don't listen to the outside noise, and that's something that we prepare our young men for on a daily basis, not just with football, but with life. Stop allowing people to tell you who you are. Your actions, your consistency, your lifestyle should really tell them who you are.
There you have it. He's essentially talking about that. You control your reality. You have to be the captain of your own ship. It doesn't mean you're trying to manipulate people, or you're trying to be some big egotistical person. That's not what I'm saying here. Essentially, it is that you understand who you are, and naturally you control the frame of communication. What that feels like is when you're talking with somebody. For you, when you understand your reality, you can control a tempo of communication. Everything starts to slow down. Like you probably felt that before. Like you're talking with people and the moment's kind of high or the moment's kind of big, and you get in your head and everything's just moving a little fast. You don't even really know what you're saying. You get tight, your throat contracts. That's an example of you losing the frame. You're reacting to the outside situations. Understand that you are the captain of your own reality. That will help you out. Let's keep rolling.
Not a voice that's oftentimes laced with a bit of jealousy and envy about what you accomplished, especially he's a young man. I could never understand how a grown man is jealous of a young man, or even a grown man is jealous of another man. I don't understand that. When you have the same amount of time, you got 24/7, 365, just like we do. Do something with yours, because I don't feel that way about anybody in here. I want all you to be successful. I want all you to make it. I want you all to soar. Whatever job or whatever career, forget job. Job just pays you enough to make it back to work. Whatever career that you guys want, I want you to attain it, man. I really do. I truly do. 100%. I want you to be the most happiest, peaceful person that they can ever live.
That goes on my second question, because they've been known for their physicality. You guys are starting to show that as well.
I think we've been physical throughout the year.
Right.
But you guys are just starting to notice that.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't there.
There it is. There's another nuanced example. Do you notice how the reporter throws him something? Hey, you guys are starting to be that. And then Coach Prime reestablishes the frame and says, actually, we've been like that. You are just starting to notice that. Think of it like a car traveling down the road of communication. The reporter is giving Coach Prime an opportunity to exit and follow a different narrative. But Coach Prime goes, no, I'm not gonna exit there. This is the direction that our conversation is going to go. And he does that by, again, controlling the frame and speaking what's actually true in the moment. It's not you manipulating somebody. It's not you being an asshole. It's just standing on business and being about what's actually true or what matters in the moment. And that controls tempo and pace of communication. And again, they react. As you'll notice, the reporter does. He follows Coach Prime's frame. He goes, all right, we're not going to exit here. Let's stay on track. I'm with you, and we'll go down this road. Keep rolling.
Last year, but it is this year.
We ain't talking about last year. Ain't nobody talking about last year but you.
But what do you feel like has made the difference? What's really kind of got that physicality in this team?
We've changed the roster. We flipped the darn roster, remember?
Hey, so signing day is December 4th, earlier this year. And I guess it's in the middle of everything. How do you find time to do that and do everything else? And when would be an ideal time for signing day?
We have a staff dedicated to that. And we have coaches that are dedicated to that also, as well as I. It's not a week or a few days that go by that we're not talking to a recruit that we've targeted. We kind of know a little more than you all know because we don't let you in on everything, that how this is going to play out. But also, it's a tremendous balancing act that you have to do between the portal and high school.
Hey, Coach. Scott Proctor, DNVR. How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Obviously, a handful of guys in their final year.
Was he on that show with y'all? I thought I saw him. You did good, man.
Appreciate that, Coach.
You did good.
Means a lot.
How's it working with Neely?
It's an experience, to say the least.
Well stated.
Yeah.
Well
You like
stated.
that? Yeah, for sure.
Remember, a lot of what controlling the frame has to do is you being a person of influence and charisma. Again, part of that is you leading in conversation, you setting the frame, you are setting the vibe. A lot of charisma and influence comes around the energy that you create. Remember, it's not always the words that come out of your mouth. It's the vibe, the energy, the way people feel as you talk. So here's an example of Coach Prime being positive, being charismatic, but notice how Coach Prime kind of grabs the conversation. He does it in a positive way. Hey, was that you in this show? You did a really good job, man. I like the way you're doing that. He's throwing the guy some positive energy, uplifting the vibe, but he's not just sitting there in this board like, you ask the question, I'll create the answer. So when you do that in your own communication, maybe you meet the guy or the girl when you're out, or you're talking at a little business event, or you're at work, add some energy to the conversation. Don't be afraid to grab the conversation as it is and move the direction of it. We want to follow emotions. That's what you're trying to do with your conversation versus just have logical conversations. Logical conversations are boring as fuck. We don't want to follow the logic. We want to feel your emotion. And so that's what it means to be charismatic, is you hold the frame, you add the vibe, and you move it around a little bit and make us energetic and exciting through emotions. That's what charisma feels like in conversation, and that helps you to control the frame.
Hey, Coach. Brady King, Denver 7. Two quick ones for you. You mentioned the success of your defense, specifically Arden Walker. What has impressed you about him so far?
Don't give up. He's been labeled a starter, second team, third team, not even in the rotation. But he never gives up. He's relentless. He practices his butt off. Never is a ignorant person to talk back and lash out at the coaches. Always on time for everything. He's never on anybody's list, late list, this list, discipline list. He's a pillar of consistency, and he's learning the game day by day and understanding the expectations that we have for him. And I'm really proud of him.
Also notice the power of Coach Prime's words. Like in this moment, he's talking about someone on the team, but what he's actually doing is speaking a level of expectation about what he wants to create with his entire culture. And so he's using this moment of communication to grab and create what he actually wants. And what he's saying without actually saying it is like, this is our level of expectation. These are the type of people we are looking for. So that's one of the powers when you learn to create tempo, control the frame in your communication, is you kind of can speak and lead the dance of conversation. It's again that example of you being on the road of communication. Where are we going when we talk? What is the type of vibe? What is the type of energy that we're going to create and that you and I are going to engage in? That's what you can create. And obviously I hope that you create it and make it very positive when you understand frames and controlling the tempo of conversation. Again, this is something Coach Prime does very naturally, and it's no wonder that he's in a leadership position. There you have it, my friend. I hope you found this helpful. I hope it helps you in your communication so that you can understand more about frames, controlling tempo, and obviously creating influence and have charisma in conversation, because all of these are things that you can absolutely learn over time. I made this video for you, so if you could do me the favor, make sure you like, share with somebody that might benefit from it, and of course, subscribe. It costs you nothing, but it truly means a lot. Until next time, peace.